Hey everybody, it's Elasian Day. Time for some daytime television as we dive into this 50 Shards of Reva mission guide. Firstly, let me give some credit where credit is due. This was made by a guild that was responsible for the 50 Shards of Cam stuff. So these people really know their thing. So let's take a look here. I'm going to walk through this. This is a long video, but feel free to jump ahead to the parts that are relevant to you. So over here, what I want you to see is the turn order. When you're getting your guys ready, this is the most important step. The number one thing you need to do is to have the turn order correct by making their speeds right. You'll notice here there's two kind of touch points on speed. The first one's with 7th Sister, the fastest. She should be 300 or more speed. And then Grand Inquisitor, 260 or more. The or more is nice. If you can be faster, that's great. But speed is actually not one of the most important things. What's really, really helpful is for us to be able to get our protection really high. If you look at all of these guys, they should be targeting around 100,000 protection. 90, 105, things like that. And 9th Sister should have crazy amounts of protection. All right. But other than that, what we want to do is focus here on some of these more modding, some of these advice. So first off, I want you to understand, we want to minimize our health. Now, what's the most important thing? Quiz? Turn order. They have to go in this order. That is absolutely critical. Second thing, protection. They need to be able to take enough damage. And it needs to be protection, not health. All right. So you can use a protection arrow. Don't worry about crit avoidance or accuracy arrows and things like that unless you've already got that value. So take a look at 8th Brother, for example. If you have 90k protection with a protection arrow, great. See if you can swap that out for a crit avoidance arrow now. It's even better. But if I've got, say, crit avoidance and only 80k protection, I'd rather use a protection primary to get up to that 90k level. So they talk about minimizing health. Why is that such a bad idea? Well, why is health such a bad idea? So in phase 1 of the battle, you fight a bunch of Jawas. Notice here, for example, use 7th Sister millet ability on Jawa. And these Jawas are throwing a buttload of thermal detonators. Well, let's take a look at that. What does a thermal detonator do? Characters lose an amount of health after a number of turns. An amount of health. Very nice. So if your health is as small as you can make it, then the thermal detonators don't hit as hard as they could. Right? So if we put like all bunch of health on and very little protection, the thermal detonators would wreck you. We want lots of protection and very little health. Protection is huge in this one. Protection is more important than speed. All right? So if I had to choose, for example, whether I was going to have, say, 270 speed or 260 on Grand Inquisitor, and it was the difference between getting to 95k protection or not, I'd go protection. Defense is good, of course. You want to survive. Phase 1 is all about surviving the Jawas. And this is why, if you notice in step 5 here, it says offense is good, but that's the smallest priority they've given anything. And the reason is when you jump into the event, what you'll see is that the Jawas are generally going to kill themselves. The event, you're like fighting in a sandstorm, so there are all these damage over times from the environment. And you need to clean those off of your Inquisitors, but the Jawas can't get rid of them, so they will eventually die from that. So you don't actually have to be very offensive. You need to survive it. And that's why offense is, always better to have more offense, but you really don't need to prioritize it. Notice here what they're giving a good suggestion. They're saying, hey, if you have to use a health mod, make sure it's not a completed health set. I'll show you what I mean by that. So if we take a look at my guys over here, I'll jump into my collection. All right, let's see. go for Inquisitors. I'll sort by speed. All right, so take a look, for example, at my mods. Look at Fifth Brother. Fifth Brother has a health arrow. That's because, hey, I needed an accuracy mod, and the only one I had was health with good speed on it. So I made sure I didn't have a health anything else. Notice I've got a defense triangle. If I'm looking, say, at Seventh Sister, again, I had a health arrow. That was a really good protection arrow, so I used it. So I made sure I used a crit chance diamond. I did not want to complete that health set. Very, very important part. All right, everybody, so what I want to show you here, let's get into the details. All of this that you see, this flow chart of options, it really all comes down to this piece here. Do your allies have tenacity up? That's really what you're trying to do in this battle, all right? That ability is coming from Grand Inquisitor. If we take a look at him, what we'll see, this is the kind of the soul of the battle for Phase 1. All right. It's on his Ready to Die ability. And if we look at here, at 6 stacks, it says Inquisitorious allies gain tenacity up for 2 turns, which is going to make the thermal detonators kind of start slipping off you like Teflon. So that's really important for your survivability. Everything depends on getting that tenacity up ability to fire. And that's why everything looks like this. Like, is GI stunned? Is it his turn? Is he stunned? Is it his turn? Everything in here is trying to make decisions to get you to where you can have that 6 stacks and then have GI take his turn and use that ability, which you can see kind of blurry there, to give them all tenacity up. At that point, we roll into, some options. Do these abilities, then do basics, then fight Kenobi in Wave 2. All right. So there's plenty of things here to learn about, but I'm going to go ahead and shift gears here. I'm going to jump over now to the event itself. All right. Part of the reason we've been pushing for platoons so hard is take a look. We accomplished this one today. We've got 2 ops done for profitable ventures. If you look at this map on the right, there's 2 zones that are highlighted in yellow. There's Felucia, and right above it, Tatooine. So this ability applies in Tatooine. And look at it. Whenever an ally uses a special, they gain a stack of profit. Well, what's that? Well, it's something that's going to help you. If we take a look over here, and we'll search for profit. Search. What do we see? %10 crit chance and crit damage up to 50% permanently, all right, until the end of battle. Well, that seems like they only last for 2 turns, but that's what profit does. So that just helps you deal more damage to the enemies. So it's nice that we were able to get those 2 operations done. When we get onto Tatooine, we also finished 2 of them here on Wretched Hive. Now take a look at this. All right, Wretched Hive says at the start of the encounter, we're going to summon a random pirate. And then every time we kill an enemy, they're going to get another random pirate to take their place and gain 25% turn meter. So that, as you kill the Jawas, they get replaced by pirates, which is awful. But with that level 1 ability down, remove whenever an ally is defeated, summon a random pirate. That's fantastic. So there'll be 1 pirate instead of a bunch. So let's dive on in and see how this goes. All right, first off, I want to make sure I've got my right team. Let me grab them. Here they are. Yep, that's all the right ones. Okay. Now, when you first step into the battle, there's quite a bit of RNG. The battle can go a lot of different ways. So let's see what happens. Anyway, hope you all are having a good time tonight. If you've been working on them, here, let's see what they do. I'll slow it down a bit. All right, so they stunned 7th Sister. Speed it up just a bit. It's a bit too slow. Taking a bunch of turns. It's our turn. All right. So we can see, look at the damage we took. All that protection is really so helpful. Notice we haven't done a thing yet, and there's already damage over times all over the board, on us and on them. So let's go back and take a look at our chart now. I'll walk you through this nice and slow. Does Scavenger have exactly 0 turn meter? Let's take a look. He's this guy, and he does not. He's got turn meter. All right. He does not have exactly 0 turn meter. Is GI stunned? No, he's not. We want to use 7th Sister's middle ability on Nebbit. All right. Notice it's not 7th Sister's turn. How did we get goofed up here? If you remember, she got stunned, so she lost her turn. Okay, so what we're going to do is we have to play this by ear a little bit. All right, I can maybe have her just do a basic. All right, but I can also show you something up here. Read the yellow text. It says this guide will help you handle most RNG. So you can't rely on it 100%. You have to know a little bit about what's going on. All right, so what's the purpose of this move? That move is going to get it to GI's turn. All right, GI is trying to get up to what? 6 stacks, so he can use his 3rd ability and grant tenacity up. So we need to do a little thinking about how I want to do this. What's this move do? Dispel all buffs. Inflict a stack of purge. Okay. I like it. I don't know who to target, so I'm going to come back over here and take a look all the way over on the side. Targeting priority. With a pirate, Dathcha is my #1 target. Got it. He's over here. But I can't get past him because Nebbit is taunting. So I'll use this ability here to take off their buffs. All right. Let's take a look at what this move does. If he has stealth, he gains stealth again, deal damage. That's all it really does. What's his basic do? All right, deal damage. That's all it really does. So I think I'm going to go with this one to try to mess him up a bit. I'm already kind of off book, as you can imagine, but my goal is still to get up to 6 stacks, and there it is. Each of those hits gave an extra. Now we're at 6 stacks of purge. It's GI's turn. Look what this does. Offense up, speed up, tenacity up, offense up, speed up, tenacity up. All right, so we're getting a bunch of great stuff. All right, so I want to use this right away to get tenacity up. That's going to make these bombs kind of stop sticking. All right, so let's see where we are now. We got over here, whoops, sorry. We got, oh no, come on back. Sorry about that. We got over here already. Yes, we have tenacity up. Okay, so here's our priority. 9th Sister should use her 3rd ability on priority targeting. That 3rd ability is this one. To daze Dathcha. That's really what we want to do. All right, nice. And to taunt. Okay, cool. So we'll switch over to Dathcha, use that 3rd ability. All right, let's take a look. What's 7th Sister do? Heal the weakest ally. Got it. All right, who's the weakest ally? I think that's kind of a tie between her and Grand Inquisitor. So we will use this on Grand Inquisitor. All right, what's 5th Brother got to do? If it's his 1st turn, use the middle ability. If you remember, we already used it. If it's his 2nd turn, use the 3rd ability on the character with the most purge. Why does that make sense? Look what this does. All right. If they have at least 3 stacks, 5th Brother's going to gain damage immunity. Everyone else is going to gain some protection. All right, so that's wonderful. So let's see. Dathcha is my priority, but he's only got 2 stacks. All right. So I'm going to go with Chief Nebbit, who has 5 stacks. Hit him. Boom. Get some defenses on my guys. And now we're at Grand Inquisitor. Notice it says use the middle ability on the priority target of Dathja. All right, what's that middle ability do? Let's take a look. Dispel all debuffs. Critical. Notice, guys, we're at 8 stacks of damage over time. That's huge. In fact, Seventh Sister is probably about to take a crap load of damage from those 8 stacks. And 4 bombs, your team can start to just vaporize and disappear at this point. This is why this ability is so important to not use earlier. You have to save it for now, when we can dispel those debuffs, equalize health with everybody, and try to keep people alive. All right? And I'm going to put it on Dathja because I want to ability block him as best I can. So here we go. Got him. Look at those Jawas. They're falling apart. They're covered in red. As they take turns, they're going to start falling and just dying. All right? It's 8th Brother's turn. 8th Brother says if it's his first turn, take a basic. We already had our first turn. If it's his second turn, throw the grenade. It is his second turn, but we already used the grenade the first time. All right, so we're going to shift gears here over to this move. The reason why we want to do this is because when Kenobi comes out in phase 2, we need to get him ability blocked right away. And we've got quite a bit of abilities on cooldown. So we're going to switch to basics and start to let the enemies just kill themselves. Got it? That's the gist. So, let's see. Do some basics here. Basic. Look at them. They're dying. Basic. Basic. I'm getting my cooldowns back. Basic. Scavenger is next on the command target list. He's very important. We'll take a look. Over here with the pirate, kill Dathja, then Scavenger. So I'll switch to you. Basic. 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 Come on, die. Got him. They killed themselves for the most part, and I got a chance to do a lot of basics to get my abilities off cooldown and available again. So let's take a look here at what we should do in Wave 2. The first thing is we're going to only target Kenobi and keep him ability blocked. That is the critical, most important piece. He has to be ability blocked. All right. If you're really fast, he might only get a couple turns. If you're not as fast, he'll get a few more turns. But those turns have got to be useless. Man's got to stay ability blocked. All right. And we're going to use a basic if these conditions aren't met. So here we're looking at 8th Brother. All right. And it says if Kenobi has 5 stacks of Purge and isn't ability blocked, we'll use the Buzzsaw. Otherwise, we'll use the grenade whenever it's available. You kind of getting the gist? Why would I use the grenade? Look what it gives. Jedi enemies are inflicted with blind. Not as good as ability block, but if he does get a turn, he's going to miss. I have nothing but a basic here, so I'll hit him. All right. With 9th Sister. Let's see what's up. Use this only if Kenobi has a damage immunity. Why? What's it do? First off, it consumes all the stacks of Purge, so that's troublesome, right? But then if the enemy's a Jedi, dispel all their buffs. So I want to sit on this, because if he does get damage immunity, I have to take that off like real quick. So I'm going to do a basic. Here we go. 7th Sister. Remember, the goal here is to ability block him. 7th Sister says, heal people, but use this if he is not ability blocked. Why? What does it do? Dispel all their bluffs, remove their turn meter. Nice. Put a stack on there, and then daze and ability block them. Boom. Got him. Look at all this beautiful red. Man hasn't done a thing yet. I love it. Let's take a look at Fifth Brother. Now, this is an interesting one. It says, we'll use this if the pirate has retribution or Kenobi has damage immunity. And we'll use this if he isn't ability blocked. All right? That'll help us survive if he isn't ability blocked. Okay? Let's see. Pirate has retribution, so we'll use this ability and take that off of him. Basic. You just saw Grand Inquisitor attack a few times. All right? So if we see here, now we're going to start ripping through him. Watch this. If Kenobi has 5+ stacks of Purge and isn't ability blocked, should we go ahead and use it now? It would inflict armor shred and make him easier to kill. We have to be patient. We're controlling Kenobi, everybody. If you take a look at step number 3, 3+ stacks, ability block. So I don't want to use that ability just in case he gets out of hand. I'm going to hit him. All right, we're going to heal Seventh Sister because she's getting whooped up on that. Heal yourself. Okay, we don't need this. All right, those things are not helpful. Taunting isn't going to be helpful here. You know, what I do want, though, is to use this to keep getting stacks up, dealing more damage, you know, and things like that, keeping those stacks going, getting it back up to 6 stacks. All right. So it looks like he doesn't have ability block. Interesting. And he's got 3+ stacks of Purge. Notice how Kenobi just attacked? He lost his ability block. So let's use this. Get some extra protection on everybody. We'll go from there. Now, GI is starting to come off his moves that were on cooldown. What does it say? If GI has 5 or more damage over times, and then the third one whenever available. So take a look. We've got 6 damage over times. Do you remember seeing Seventh Sister almost go down a little while ago? She was in the yellow. All right, all that protection helped keep her alive, but we've got too much damage over time now. This is going to get rid of that. Bring us all back to pure green, and we're sitting pretty. I'm not going to buzz him down just because I want to keep that up for ability blocking, and we'll just do some basics. Basics. Basic. Whenever available. 6 stacks is going to give us speed up, tenacity up, offense up, all kinds of wonderful things. As well as torture. Whenever available. All right. I notice he doesn't have ability block now, so we'll use the buzz on him. This should kill him. Boom. And we win. Guess what, everybody? I just got you an extra Reva shard. All right. Now, I played through that a lot slower than I normally would and walked through a lot of details, but the point is, I want you to recognize the value that you see in this chart. It really does walk you through just about everything for most of the situations. We got through this like sea of options pretty quickly to where we got tenacity up on everybody. But all of these options, if you walk through them, that's the purpose, is all to get you to that tenacity up ability. There's a lot of nuance to this fight. A lot of nuance. You've got a key turn order. You're saving key abilities for ability blocks, for purging damage over times, you know, for giving bonus protection, for healing somebody. You need all that protection. So please understand that this is actually a lot of fun of a mission, but it's definitely a designed battle, and you need a designed solution like this one to be able to figure it out. All right. So I'm a big fan of this chart. So far, I have had a 100% win rate, except for one mistake on my very first try, because I forgot to put mods on Ninth Sister. So she was modless. But every time I've actually had the right mods on people, I've been able to clear it. Sometimes it's been trickier than others, because RNG is what it is. And sometimes it gets real close to losing. But if you follow those steps, you can really do quite well most of the time. All right, It's been a pleasure. I hope that you guys enjoyed this and got something out of it. Please give me some feedback. That'd be great. But please make sure that you're following the modding. It is absolutely critical and essential. All right. You can work on getting better mods over time. Just prioritize them like this. The first thing you can do if you want to improve your mods, if they meet all these conditions, make them less healthy. Make them more protection. Then make them faster, etc. All right. Don't worry if the battle takes you a long time. All right. It is not a rush to win, because if you start like wailing on Kenobi to try to get him to die, then guess what's going to happen? You're going to lose control of it. He'll have a turn when he's not ability blocked, and he'll just start wrecking somebody, He'll kill, say, GI, and then you can't purge the dots, and then you end up all just wiping out. So there's a lot of ways you can lose. There's some really clean ways that you can win. Have a great night, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this, and I will catch you next time. Take care.